Hello, thank you for watching and welcome. This is Samantha Simpson, and I am coming to you from beautiful Austin, Texas. It's my first time in the city, and I'm excited to be here in this beautiful and lovely Airbnb that I'm sharing with some Bowspring sisters of mine. And they're out actually right now at the flagship Whole Foods location going to get snacks before our masterclass with Desi Springer this evening. And I just set off a couple of flights. And while I was on the flights, I thought this could be something that I could teach you all that would be really functional and helpful. And isn't that the best part of the Bowspring? It's functional and it's helpful. So while I was on the plane, I came up with this because I just started moving it on my own organically. And this could be something that you could do if you're on a flight, if you're in a cramped quarters, anywhere where you need to sit for an extended amount of time and you don't want to feel exhausted afterwards. You don't want to feel tight or stiff. So a lot of times you go on vacation or you go on a work-related trip and you end up getting to your destination, and when you get there you feel like crap because you've been crammed into one spot for so long. And I don't like the way how that feels. So without further ado, here is a nice float that you can do while you're on an airplane or in any cramped quarters. So actually it might be better to the side a little bit. So the first thing I do when I sat down on the plane was I was mindful about the way I was sitting. So the seats are situated in such a way that you get tucked up into the C shape, and it's built like that on purpose. It's soothing and it keeps you calm and quiet. But sitting that way too long starts to hurt, and maybe that's not what you want to do anymore, and you do have choices. So I sit down mindfully, and I sit down in a way that my tailbone lifts up and my belly is long. And I'm going to take an active seated position in the flight. And I didn't do it the whole time, but I'd say probably 50 to 70% of both of my flights, I was seated in this open and active position. And I wasn't sleeping. I was alert. I was doing work. I was looking out the window. I was coming up with ideas. So that's one of the cool things about being in the Bowspring posture is that you're awake and you're on. So seated in the posture, tailbone lifts, the feet are under the knees, and the heels rather are under the knees, and the toes are down. Pressing the paw of the foot into the earth or into the floor bed of the air jet. The paws are pressed in, and the heels energetically draw back, and I can feel a subtle activation in the back side of my legs. So you don't have a lot of space to do this here. And then I bring my hands to my knees to a liquid hand. And we'll start by gently drawing the chin in first and feeling and cultivating an expansion of the back ribs, the low back ribs. And I'm breathing into my low back ribs now and the side ribs, getting nice and full there, stretching that space out. And then I'm opening up the space between the shoulder blades by pressing that area out, opening the rib cage all the way around. And then from there, gently tilt the ears back, chin lifts up, eyes go to the horizon. So that action there brought in the front side. I've got fullness in the back. And I'll check my elbows here, subtle curve, hollow in the elbows. So I'm not hyperextending or pointing the eyeballs of the elbow up. They rotate and they face towards each other. The outside of the elbows point out. So I'm nice and full here, and from this fullness of my rib cage or my radiant heart, start to make some circles. And yes, I did do this on the plane. And did anyone think I was weird? No. I think only one person saw me doing it, and she started moving like me too. So that's another interesting thing. When you start moving functionally and with respect to your mind and body, other people copy. Everywhere I go, people copy my posture. That's an honor. So I'm making rotations in both directions with the rib cage. This is something you can easily do on an airplane. And I'm also separating the hips from the ribs. The ribs get lighter and I get taller. And we'll do a little bit of the same with the head as well. And then coming from here, I will dome the right hand. And then start to lean the left ear to the left shoulder. So I'm not tilting my chin up toward the air. Rather, I've just tilted it over. Chin stays in line with the breastbone. The right neck gets so long, and the right ribs have a chance to really expand here. I'm lifting up from underneath my right armpit, hollow in the right elbow as well. And then that dome hand slides to liquid hand on the knee. And then the left hand goes to dome. Right ear travels towards the right shoulder. Feel expansion in your left ribs as they lift and float. Left neck gets long. And maybe find a little wiggle room here. This felt so good when I was on the plane today. And then come back, center. Now there's not a lot of room to twist on a plane, but there's enough to twist a little bit. So knees resisting each other energetically keeps us rooted to the ground, as well as the paws are still pressed down and pulling back. And then I'll take the left hand to come on top of the right hand. And you can't see this, but I'm making subtle pulses, barely, that just provide a nice relieving opening. And this is a minor twist, a micro twist, but I'm really getting a lot of inner opening here. So it might not look like something big, but I can feel it working deep from beneath my right ribs. And that area tends to get tight. And then come back center. And then keep the right hand over the left. So barely moving it, but I can feel it. And if you're practicing along, you can feel it. All right. Then there's not a lot of room to do a lot of arm stuff here, but there's plenty of room to do an ecstasy arm. Domes come to the back sides of the head. Thumbs come to occipital bone, palms dome. Forearms lift towards the ceiling. Knees resist. And float your whole entire radiant heart towards the ceiling. Feel it opening in the belly. And here, when I was in the plane, oh, my sisters are here. Welcome, Eli. Facebook Live.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Susan and Sarah.
Hey, guys.
And there are also Bowspring teachers. And I thought something interesting was that the three of us are staying here, and we all have a name that starts with an S. And we were all born in 1981.
Yes! Are you a fire sign?
I'm not sure.
What are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
You're water.
I'm a water sign. All right, so ladies, don't mind me.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm just gonna wrap this up really quick because there's not a lot you can do in an airplane. There's some though. So digging and dragging, opening the belly, lifting up. And I also grabbed the headrest here and use that to assist in the opening of the belly, which felt really divine. And a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then the hands can come down. And then I'll leave you with a little bit of leg exercise too, because your legs can get kind of numb in the airplane. You're not moving them around. So I did this here to just turn them on and wake them up. So paws of the feet dig into the earth, heels drag back. And I'm going to take that a step further. Lift up the heels. And energetically press the knees away from each other. One at a time. I'm going to take one leg up. And then make a little bicycle movement here. Toes fall down as if they are weighted with lead. And then touch down toes first in the paw. And then other side. Lift up, belly long, little bicycle. And then if you want to be really crazy on the plane, maybe both at the same time. So it's a seated version of freedom pose. And then touch down. Thank you for joining today for this travel edition of the weekly Bowspring class. And I would love to hear your comments or questions. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. I got